Augusta National, I mean, it was always the coolest because it was an oasis that I got to see on TV in every April, and the fact I get to play it now in the tournament is really a dream come true.
Back here on the EA Sports Golf Preview Show, glad to have you with us. This year, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12 The Masters offers you a road to actually playing in the tournament through a series of qualifying experiences that earn you privileges to take on the world's best players on the ultimate stage. Once you've driven down Magnolia Lane, you'll start to feel the same pressures that the pros feel when they have to challenge Augusta National each April. Few golfers have had the success that Tiger Woods has experienced in the first major championship played each year. So who better to offer his insights into the course's famous inward nine than the four-time champion?
We've seen so many 30s over the years, 30, 31s on the back nine because it can be done. But also you've seen guys implode as well. 8-man corners over the years has gotten more difficult. 11's gotten infinitely more difficult. You're gonna have a short iron, so it's a decision that you gotta make. Either throw the ball up, spin it, or you drive into the hill. But the problem is a lot of times it's cut into the grain. So best case scenario, you just hit 2 perfect shots and do it 4 days and you're all right. You know, and on top of that, when you get to 12, the wind's all over the place. It's like, what club do I pull? And sometimes you're standing there waiting for the wind to get to where you need to for that club. You just stand there and wait and wait and wait. Wind switches, put the club down, you hit immediately. I think that 13, I don't think that people realize that it's actually slightly uphill, you know, your second shot. You see so many guys end up short in the water. You're making 3 there is all predicated on where the pin is. If the pin's on the bottom on the right-hand side, yeah, you got a shot at it. But if it's up on top, you're gonna have to make some kind of up over the hill putt. And, you know, realistically, that doesn't happen very often. I would have to say 15's much easier to make 3 on than 13, just because it's one, if it's warm out, you can get drives down there and you can hold that green pretty easily. I think 16, I mean, you're hitting to, looks like a small coffee table up there, and it's domed. There's no good place to miss it, so what I do is always fire it just left of the flag and make sure I always hit it, land it pin high. It takes a slope, it will roll down the hill and then back towards me, so now I have an uphill putt. You expect to make birdie. Yeah, you have to hit the ball well. Yeah, you have to putt well. But you just can't let the emotions get the best of you there. If you lose your mind at any key stretch, it'll cost you a tournament.
The Masters, of course, is played on the same course every year, while the other 3 majors move around every year. But no matter what course they're played on, the U.S. Open, the Open Championship, the PGA Championship, they all demand that players raise the level of their game while keeping their emotions under control.
The major championships are very mentally draining. There's no doubt about it. You know, your game is under pressure from the word go.
Long weeks. There's a lot of people out on the golf course from Monday. The practice rounds take 6 hours. There's just a lot going on.
Your physical stuff is not going to change. I mean, all of a sudden you're not going to be better than you were the week before. But mentally is where you got to be so sharp. I mean, it is a grind from the first shot to the last shot.
If your game's good and you're striking the ball well and playing well, then it's a mental aspect. But you know, if you're struggling with your game, then it could be the physical. They're both demanding.
A golf course like Augusta National or Congressional, where the rough's going to be high and it's going to be hot, those golf courses just demand a lot of you mentally. And at the end of the week, the guys that are mentally the best prepared to play in those conditions are the ones that usually keep their composure at the end and finish higher on the leaderboard.
The challenge in major championships, which is something that I think is you learn piece by piece, is managing expectation levels. This is not your normal tournament, and you've got to learn. A lot of times we'll see guys come in, they seem like they're surprise winners, but what they've really done that week is manage their expectation levels better than everybody else. They knew I'm not going to make a lot of birdies. They accepted a level of performance that is not overpowering the golf course, but taking what the course gave them.
Mm-hmm. It's funny when you think about it. You almost should have to sign a waiver form before you play a major. I mean, they're that dangerous. But the point that I keep coming back to when it comes to majors is not only that preparation, but people wonder, is it more mental or is it more physical? And I think one begets the other. And by that I mean, if you're starting to feel any kind of fatigue physically, it's going to affect you mentally. And I think that sort of, especially when you get on the back nine or on the weekend and you got all that pressure going and it's a long golf course, these courses this year are over 7,500 yards. I mean, that's gonna weigh in on you, wouldn't you say, Jaime?
Yeah, I think when you don't handle your emotions correctly, that becomes exhausting. And it actually, inhibits your ability to make a good golf swing. It starts affecting your coordination. Tension comes in, cortisol, adrenaline, and the majors are, they're like a little factory creating those things. And you have to learn how to suppress that stuff. And I think it's a mindset, and I think it's about being resilient, and it's about understanding emotions and how to manage emotions so that you stay level.
We talk about this with the occasional time that we play, within our company, a stroke play tournament. We talk about how rare it is to actually play 18 holes of stroke play. How about 72 and you're really good and you're competing and it's your livelihood and you've got the pressures and it's all you've played for all of your life? I mean,
and it's at that higher level at a major. One of the courses that might be the hardest when it comes to just dealing with adversity is Royal St. George's. Emotion and resiliency is paramount on a course like that.
I'm familiar with Royal St. George. I have some memory because I was there. But the Atlanta Athletic Club, I know that Tom's won at Laying Up, but that to me, I have no idea who that
Mickelson
favors.
played really well there the last time.
Kind of like the Florida events. It's sort of those southern guys always seem to surface during those events. Somebody like Hunter Mahan, there's a guy who could win Atlanta. We're all in agreement, though, that more so than ever, the physical and mental combination of being able to hold that together for 4 days is really what's going to separate you from everybody else.
Interesting insight and hopefully some knowledge that will help you in the game. One guy who's using some of that information from Tiger Woods, PGA Tour 12, the Masters, is Rickie Fowler. And up next, we'll hang at home with the 22-year-old as he plays Augusta National on his gaming console while preparing for his very first Masters.